I hope you enjoyed that word from our sponsors. They're really good to us, those Subway people. Especially Lewis, whatever his name is. Okay, we're here at the West India Quay near the museum at Docklands. And you've heard about life on a ship for the average London sailor. But what's really interesting is life off of a ship for the average London sailor. And this is what we're going to talk about while we're here. Because this is where some sailors would come in and they would get off their ships at one of these old quays, especially upriver like we are here in the early part of the empire. A sailor would walk off a ship with very little possessions, because they traveled so much they didn't want to have too much. So it was normally A, a chest with his belongings, and B, his wages. A chest would consist of only a few things: simple clothes, a ring or a chain, a silver tobacco box, and maybe some tobacco or rum if they hadn't used it all already, because we know they love to drink their rum. And just take, for example, what was named in John Hutchinson's will, who is an average London sailor. All it was some things that featured prominently were shirts, some silver buttons, and a special Bible for his son. So you see they really had very little possessions. Wages are kind of harder to pin down. According to 200 sailors' court hearings here in London, their net worth ranged from 10 to 300 pounds, with a median of 50. This is actually a very good wage for the time. It's similar to a skilled artisan or a middling shopkeeper. So, you know, they really had the opportunity to make some good money, but a lot of times once they got off the ship, they would blow it on some living accommodations or some partying, and, you know, they like to party. As I said before, earlier in the Empire period, a lot of times ships would come in upriver in this part of London. And this is where the sailors would live, up here. And they really followed the work, especially as it moved downriver, further into the Empire period later. They really would follow their work. According to Cecily Fox Smith, who wrote a pretty comprehensive review of London and the sailing industry, sailors lived in filthy, swarming tenements, so it sounds really pleasant. She described East London as a dock haunter's paradise, so you see the docks really controlled life here around the river. In 1923, she said that all the sailors would gather further down the river at Chain Locker, which is near the Tower of London, to get paid and sign up for jobs. So once again, they follow their work wherever it goes. And they really don't have any permanent living, so they're able to do that. Now about partying, one thing mentioned by Cecily Fox Smith in 1923 was a place called Tiger Bay, which was between Cable Street and the highway. And she said that she seemed very disapproving of it, because all nationalities would gather together, and girls as young as 14 would go to party and drink and, you know, do what sailors do best. I hope you've enjoyed this documentary on London sailors, and I hope you've gained a deeper understanding of not only of all kinds of London sailors, especially, you know, military, commerce, and trading sailors, and all different classes of sailors, from high class like Lord Nelson and the ideal sailor to the low-life sailors that I've just described. So, thank you for watching this BBC documentary. I'm out.
And we out.